B me 32, F CEO/founder of Brightwell Narrative Group. We sell brand storytelling to companies that keep accidentally looking like villains. Clients wire me $19,000 a month so I can post diversity threads and run glossy IG campaigns that scream, "We care." Self-made millionaire, drive a matte black Range Rover, Velar live in a brutalist chic condo downtown in Austin with concrete walls and art that looks like sadness. My entire life is calendar blocks, cold brew, and shaking hands like I'm running for office. B. Not me, Kyle, 38, M, my husband for 7 years, has a graphic design degree from some mid-tier state school, hasn't made a taxable dollar since 2018. Domestic engineer is what I call him. He hates that joke, stays home, manages the logistics of my life, and grinds video games like it's a job, soft, agreeable, zero killer instinct, like a golden retriever that learned to meal prep and use a smart thermostat. 6'1", decent jaw, stays in shape, but his ambition is a houseplant, in a dark corner, used to think his calm vibe balanced me out. Now it just feels like he's not even playing the same sport. Monday, 8:10 p.m. Walking out of a glass tower downtown after a brutal meeting with a fintech client is a 26-year-old VC wunderkind who kept checking his Apple Watch like I was a dentist appointment, had to burn every last ounce of charm to justify why our retainer just jumped 12%. My face hurts from smiling, my soul hurts from existing, check my phone in the elevator, text from Kyle, dinner's resting, halibut plus charred asparagus. Want the 2019 cab or a cocktail? Stare at it. Most women would screenshot this and send it to group chat as proof men can be trained. I feel annoyed. Why is his world so small? Why is his biggest problem the doneness of fish? Meanwhile, I'm in the Roman Colosseum of capitalism, getting stabbed for fun, type back wine. Home in 20. Drive home, listening to a podcast about radical independence. Hosts are ranting about how modern women are shackled by the emotional labor of managing men, nodding like a psycho, while merging onto Mopac. Even though Kyle does basically 100% of the house stuff, I still feel spiritually exhausted by him. It's not chores, it's his energy. Like, I'm the power outlet and he's always charging. I have to be the sun in his little solar system. I have to be the interesting one. I have to bring home stories, money, status, trophies. He just exists in the glow and snacks on it. Get to the condo. Everything is spotless in an aggressive way. Smells like cedar oil and fresh detergent walk in. And Kyle is in the kitchen wearing giant noise-canceling headphones, also wearing an apron that says Kitchen Commando in block letters. He's doing a little dance while slicing limes. The ick hits so hard my stomach does a backflip. He sees me, yanks one headphone off, huge, dumb smile. "Hey babe, welcome to the arena. How'd it go?" I drop my stupid $3,200 work bag onto the pristine stone counter. Fine. They're pivoting to AI support. I have to rewrite the entire Q4 plan. He does the sympathetic face. Sounds rough, he says, pouring wine like a butler. It's the exact aw, poor wifey tone, generous, deeply unsexy. Sit down, food's ready. I sit. Watch him plate the halibut with tweezers. Tweezers he thinks he's on Top Chef. Take a huge gulp of wine like I'm trying to delete my brain. "Kyle," I say. He pauses mid-tweezer. "Yeah? Do you ever think about going back to work?" His face doesn't even change, just a slow blink. "We've talked about this, Meg. You said my freelance stress was messing with your vibes. We agreed I'd run the house so you could run the company." "I know what I said," I snap, sharper than I meant. "But don't you get bored? Don't you want to build something?" He shrugs and slides the plate in front of me, like a waiter. "I built this dinner. I built that bookshelf in the hallway last week. I'm good. I'm happy." Then he hits me with it. "Are you happy?" I stare at the perfect fish, stare at his content face, feel something cold and mean in my chest. I'm absolutely miserable, not because my life is lacking, because of what I'm tethered to. I'm a shark doing laps next to a manatee Tuesday 10 a.m. at the office. Slack pings from my VP of Ops, Tara, emergency strategy session, coffee now. Tara is basically my work wife divorced 3 times, permanently irritated, drives a white Porsche Cayenne, like it's armor, calls herself a spiritual fighter. We meet at some overpriced cafe that spells espresso. Wrong on purpose, Tara looks at me over her oat milk latte. You look heavy, she says. Not fat, spiritually heavy. I don't even deny it. She tilts her head. It's him, right? I sigh and stare out the window at the tents under the overpass. I just feel like I outgrew the container, I say. He's fine, he's nice, but he's not scaling with me. Tara taps her nails on the table like she's typing a resignation letter. You're a high-growth asset, she says. He's a legacy system. You can't run a 2027 operating system on 2014 hardware. It lands hard corporate metaphors are the only way I can feel feelings without gagging. Yeah, but the logistics, I whine. He does everything. Trash, laundry, cooking, the dog, all of it. Outsource it, Tara says, waving a hand like she's swatting a fly. You make what, like $540,000? Hire a housekeeper. Hire a chef. Use TaskRabbit for the rest. You're a CEO. Stop keeping an employee on payroll just because you feel bad firing him. Employee. The word sinks into my brain like a hook. Employee, I whisper. And suddenly it's so clean, it's almost beautiful. Marriage is an employment contract. Kyle is underperforming in the KPI of making me feel like we're a power couple, spend the rest of the week quietly auditing my life. Make a spreadsheet like, I'm preparing to lay off a department. Columns labeled value add, cost, opportunity cost, replaceability, risk, Kyle's value, domestic tasks, high replaceable, yes, for a price emotional support, low, mostly irritating lately intimacy. Every other month, mid-status, negative, because I keep explaining him to people like he's a rescue animal. Stare at the cells until the numbers start looking like permission. Add up Kyle's cost like I'm doing taxes for an L. LC groceries, clothes, gadgets, travel. I end up paying for half my mental bandwidth and the theoretical opportunity cost of not dating someone with a private jet. The spreadsheet doesn't lie. ROI on this marriage is in the red, not a rough quarter, red full on, shut it down, red. So I decide I need a restructure. Friday night becomes the termination meeting. Tell myself I'm going to do it, clean, no yelling, no theatrics, book, a table at a quiet, neutral little bistro in Hyde Park, dim lighting, soft music, nothing romantic. Tell Kyle it's a State of the Union date. He shows up in a blazer. I bought him like 4 years ago. He looks weirdly excited. Probably thinks I'm about to propose some escape to Cabo or Tulum or whatever rich people do to pretend they're happy. We sit, I order a bottle of something expensive with a label that screams sincerity. Wait until appetizers land so I can pretend I'm a human being. Then I pivot, Kyle. I need to talk about our trajectory. He freezes mid-buttering bread. Okay. He squints at me. You have that face you make when a client hates the logo. This is bigger than a logo, I say, fingers laced like I'm about to announce layoffs. I've been doing a lot of self-audit. He just nods, slow, cautious, and I realize we're operating on different frequencies. Frequencies, he repeats, like he's tasting the word. Yeah, I say, I'm in a hyper-growth phase. I need a partner who challenges me, someone who brings outside capital to the table, social capital, financial capital. You're static. He blinks like his brain is buffering. Are you saying I'm boring? I'm saying you're comfortable, I say, and comfort is basically fentanyl for ambition. He doesn't laugh. I keep going because I can't stop once I'm in presentation mode. I think we need to dissolve the partnership. The words hang there. Restaurant noise gets distant, like someone turned down the world. He looks at me, actually looks at me. You want a divorce? I want a dissolution, I correct, because I'm insane. Divorce sounds messy. I want this to be intentional, conscious, like uncoupling. He just stares. I reach into my bag and pull out a manila envelope, slide it across the table, like I'm auditioning for HBO. Feel like some CEO villain in a suit. What is that? He asks. Doesn't touch it. Transition terms, I say. I drafted some prelim stuff. His mouth twitches. Meg, I'll cover a rental for 4 months, I say. Too fast. I'll give you a stipend. Like $4,500 a month. So you can update your portfolio, get stable, whatever. Keep the car. It's a 2018 Corolla, I don't care. We split accounts starting today. He lets out this dry laugh, not amused more, like his soul just fell down a stairwell. A stipend, he says, a transition package. Like I'm a junior marketer, you're laying off. It is generous, I say, because I can't help myself. Most people just toss their ex out. I'm giving you runway. He finally picks up the envelope, turns it over like it might bite him. You really think money ties a bow on everything, huh? Money is the language of seriousness, I say, and even I hate myself as it leaves my mouth. He stands up, doesn't touch his food, doesn't touch the wine, just pushes his chair back, calm but sharp. Okay, he says, if you want me gone, I'm gone. I'm not staying somewhere, I'm treated like a line item. I feel this immediate wave of relief, disgusting and warm. Good, I say. I knew you'd be rational. His eyes flash at that. I'll be out by Sunday, he says. Then he walks out just like that. No scene, no begging, no big speech leaves me sitting there with my smug little bottle of sincerity. I finish my appetizer alone like a psychopath. Check my smartwatch out of habit, heart rate. Steady 71, beats per minute, ice water in my veins. Tell myself it means I'm free. Sunday morning, he actually does. It moves out, like he's evacuating a building, takes his clothes, takes his PC setup, takes his chef knives, takes his console, and all the controllers, leaves, the furniture, leaves, the art leaves, the decor arranged like a showroom. Apartment looks like a stage listing. I stand in the middle of the living room, in total silence, glorious, expensive silence. Order pad thai, and eat it straight out of the container on the couch, watch reality TV. With the volume up, nobody asking if I want to take a walk. This is heaven. Text Tara, asset has been liquidated. I'm single. She sends me a gif of some pop star walking away from an explosion. I feel unstoppable, like I just fired a problem and upgraded my entire operating system. Week 3 is when the universe starts billing me. I hire a cleaning crew. They come every Tuesday by Thursday? The place looks like a frat house with better lighting. I didn't realize how much micro-cleaning Kyle did. Wiping counters every time he cooked, picking up lint. Like it was a personal insult. Fluffing pillows, straightening throws, resetting the room like a stagehand. Now there are coffee rings on everything. There's a stack of dishes in the sink that smells yeasty like wet bread. I run out of clean underwear. Go to the laundry room, stare at this fancy washer Kyle insisted on buying. It has a touchscreen options like activewear, delicates, sanitizing, steam refresh, proofing, what am I? Baking myself, I shove everything in and hit whatever looks like normal walk away. Forget about it for 2 hours, because I'm on calls, come back and the machine is screaming at me, beeping like a bomb, big red error message. E17. No idea what it means. Open it up. My silk blouses are now doll-sized. My favorite cashmere sweater looks like a sad felt coaster. I actually yell at the washer, like it has a soul kick the side of it, instantly regret it. Slam my toe into the baseboard, hobble back to the kitchen, furious and humiliated. Solve the problem. The only way I know how. Order $280 worth of new basics online, expensive fix. Still a fix. Then the food situation starts sliding without Kyle's grilled/roasted/sous vide. Balanced meals, I'm basically surviving on delivery apps and healthy bowls, except the bowl place is close at 9 and I'm still working at 10. So it's not bowls, it's greasy pizza and leftover takeout eaten over my laptop. I start feeling puffy, skin breaks out like I'm 16 again. Look in the mirror and my under eyes are turning purple-gray. Makeup sits, weird, like my face is rejecting it. Kyle used to hand me this collagen smoothie every morning, like a spa assistant. Now it's just burnt black coffee because I don't know how to descal the espresso machine. The clean me light has been blinking for like 10 days. I hate the blinking. I hate the machine. I stop using it, just buy Starbucks and pretend it's a lifestyle. Choice trash. Starts piling by the door because I keep forgetting what day pickup is. Every time I pass it, I think I should handle that. And then I don't feel my life turning into a pile of tiny failures. Decide I need a distraction. Decide I should get back out there. Download a dating app at 1 a.m. like a responsible adult. Start swiping match with a guy named Julian, 37, founder of an AI startup. Bio says biohacker, stoic. Scaling the future. Of course it does. Perfect. Time to date. Meet him at a fake speakeasy in East Austin that makes you text a password to a number, like it's 2006. He shows up in a plain black t-shirt that somehow costs $350. Looks like he found it on the floor of a WeWork. We sit down within 30 seconds. He's telling me his morning routine like it's a religion. Yeah, so I'm up at 4:15. 20 minutes meditation, 12 minutes cold plunge. Then I optimize nutrient timing. He says optimize, like he's curing cancer. I try to talk about my agency. He cuts right over me, mid-sentence. Marketing is cool, but, you know, LLMs are gonna make brand narrative irrelevant in like 6 months, right? So basically he tells me my entire career is already dead. He checks his phone 3 times in the first half hour. Sorry, he says. Not sorry. My team in Manila is pinging me. The bill comes. He stares at it like it personally offended him. Split? I make around $540,000 a year. I don't care about the money. It's the principal Kyle always paid, even when it was literally my money. He'd still pull the card out, handle the check, do the whole little gentleman routine. This guy just looks at the receipt, like we're dividing a group project. We leave, we shared an Uber for like 4 blocks. Because it was drizzling, he sends me a Venmo request for his half of the Uber for 4 blocks. I get home and cry into a pile of unwashed sheets like a clown. 6 weeks post-breakup, still haven't heard a single word from Kyle in my head. I'm like, cool. He took the runway money and moved into his mom's basement. Then a courier shows up at my office, big envelope stamped, personal and confidential. I sign for it because I'm nosy and also stupidly calm. Walk back to my glass office, open it at my desk. It's from Klein, Sterling, and Rios. I know that name. They're the divorce sharks the tech guys use when they want to turn a breakup into a controlled demolition. They bankrupted a friend's ex just on legal fees. My hands start doing that shaky thing. Scan the first page. Petition for dissolution of marriage. Petitioner, Kyle Reynolds. Respondent, Megan Brooks. He filed first the audacity flip to the remedies requested dissolution. Division of community property, 50-50 split of all accounts, investments, retirement, everything. And then it hits me like a truck, 50% equity interest in Brightwell Narrative Group, or cash equivalent based on current valuation. Spousal support, temporary and permanent attorney's fees, and costs half my company. I laugh, loud and sharp and insane. My assistant pokes her head in like I'm about to explode. Everything okay? Get my lawyer, now. Call my corporate attorney, Mark. Mark is great with contracts, absolutely useless with emotions. Mark, I say, voice already going nuclear. Did you see this? He wants half my company. Mark does the dead silent pause like he's pulling up a file. When did you incorporate? After we got married, I say, but he had nothing to do with it. He was playing video games while I built the site and closed clients. Mark sighs through the phone like he's done this 100 times. Meg, Texas is a community property state. Anything created during the marriage is presumed community, unless you have a prenup. My stomach drops. No prenup, I say. We were broke when we got married. Then the business is a marital asset, he says, flat. We can fight valuation, we can fight structure, but on paper, he has a claim to half. What about alimony? I snap. He's a grown man. He can work. Mark doesn't take the bait. How long have you been the primary earner? 7 years, I say. Then I correct myself because the math stings. Almost 8. And did you encourage him not to work? Flashback slams me in the face, 2019. Me coming home fried Kyle talking about some design gig. Me saying, just quit, babe. It's not worth the stress for $45,000. I need you here handling the Reno stuff. Focus on the house. It helps me. Back to the phone. I go quiet. Mark goes even quieter. Then he hits me with the phrase that makes my blood run cold. Detrimental reliance. If he stepped out of the workforce at your request to support your career domestically, the court views him as a dependent spouse. You're looking at significant exposure. I grip my desk hard enough my nails hurt. So what? I say. We fight. War of attrition. Bury him in paperwork until he taps out. Mark just exhales. Not approval more like fatigue, then discovery starts. And it is actual hell. Kyle's lawyers aren't just lawyers. They're forensic accountants wearing suits. They subpoena everything personal, email, company, email, QuickBooks, bank statements, Slack logs, calendar, invites. They want receipts from 3 years ago, like they're solving a murder. They find strategy dinners. I expensed that were really just expensive drinking nights with Tara. They label it dissipation of community assets. They request a vocational evaluation for Kyle. And yes, I have to pay for it, $4,800 to have some expert write a report on my husband's employability. Like he's a broken appliance expert, comes back with, Mr. Reynolds has been out of the workforce for nearly a decade. His skills are outdated. He will require 2 to 3 years of retraining to re-enter at an entry-level capacity. Entry-level? He's almost 40. I want to scream instead. I just keep bleeding hours and money. My actual life starts collapsing in slow motion. I miss deadlines because I'm hunting down tax returns from 2020. Like I'm doing an archaeology dig. I show up to meetings looking wrecked, hair, greasy eyes, dead. The CEO glow is gone. One of my biggest clients fires us because I'm half asleep replying to emails, and I accidentally reply, "You blood-sucking parasite," to the client. Instead of forwarding it to my attorney about Kyle instant termination, revenue drops like 18% in a month. My team starts looking at me like I'm contagious. Then deposition day comes, conference room, me, my lawyer, Kyle, and his lawyer. Kyle walks in and my brain short circuits. He looks good, not good for him. Good, 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 tan trim. Wearing a fitted suit like he got styled. He looks rested, like he's been sleeping 8 hours and drinking water on purpose. I look like the before photo in a medication commercial. His lawyer is Ms. Klein. Stone face, expensive suit, shark eyes. She smiles like she just smelled blood in the water. Ms. Brooks, she says, "Isn't it true, Mr. Reynolds prepared your meals?" "He cooked," I say, annoyed. "Yes." "And isn't it true he handled your laundry, cleaning, grocery shopping, car maintenance, and bill payments?" "I paid the bills," I snap. "He managed the logistics," she says smoothly. "He ensured the lights stayed on so you could focus on building your business. Correct?" I hate that it's true. "I guess," I say. She leans in a fraction. "Without his domestic labor, would you have been able to work 14-hour days to grow Brightwell Narrative Group?" Trap card. If I say yes, I'm lying. If I say no, I'm admitting he's basically an investor. My mouth goes dry. I feel my lawyer staring at me like, "Don't you dare." I swallow and do the smallest possible surrender. "He contributed." I grind out Ms. Klein's smile, gets a millimeter wider. "Thank you," she says, like she just won a trophy. Moving on to travel expenses. Months of this paperwork, meetings, lawyers emailing at 11:30 p.m. Like it's normal. Then mediation. We try to settle in some beige office with a guy who talks like a disappointed dad. I offer a lump sum, $220,000, because I want this nightmare to stop. Ms. Klein smiles like she just spotted a wounded animal limping away. "That won't be necessary," she says. And then she drops the number. The valuation report came back, Brightwell Narrative Group, valued at $3.9 million. And suddenly I realize I didn't fire an employee. I handed a dependent spouse half my empire and dared him to come collect it. Ms. Klein doesn't even flinch. Mr. Reynolds' share calculates to $1.95 million. Then she keeps going like she's reading a weather report. "We also calculated marital standard of living. You consistently spent roughly $18,000 a month on lifestyle. Mr. Reynolds is entitled to maintain that standard." 18 grand a month? I bark, loud enough heads turn. "That's my money." Kyle looks at me, calm, voice low. "It was our money." He doesn't raise his voice, which somehow makes me hate him more. "I was there when you had nothing." He says, "I believed in you. And then you tried to toss me out like expired milk with a little coupon book." My face gets hot. "I wanted you to be a man," I snap. "I wanted you to work." Mediator immediately does the timeout thing. Hands up like we're about to swing, we don't settle. We go to trial, family court. Travis County, some beige courtroom with fluorescent lights that make everyone look like they're dying. Department 2, 1-4. Judge is an older guy. Judge Whitaker, gray hair, glasses, tired eyes. I walk in thinking, okay, this dude is gonna hate a stay-at-home husband trying to cash out. I show up in a sharp red suit, like I'm walking into a board meeting, power color war paint. Kyle shows up in a navy suit, hands clasped, humble expression. Looks like a guy applying for a mortgage, not a guy coming for half my life. My lawyer goes first and comes out swinging. Your Honor, Mr. Reynolds chose not to work. He spent thousands of hours playing video games. He made no financial contribution. I'm sitting there nodding like a bobblehead. Then Kyle's side starts calling witnesses. First one up, my mom. I actually whisper, Mom, under my breath. Like a child, she walks up there and swears in like she's been waiting her whole life. And then she guts me. Megan works very hard, she says, but she's difficult. The court laughs a little. Even the bailiff smirks. She keeps going, Kyle was a saint. He did everything. She can't even grocery shop. Betrayal hits like cold water. I sit there in my expensive suit getting roasted by my own mother. Then exhibits come out, private investigator photos, shots of our condo. When Kyle lived there, perfect counters, clear pillows aligned. It looks like a catalog. Then photos from last week after I'd been alone, pizza boxes stacked, random clothes on chairs, sink full of dishes, trash bag by the door, like a sad monument. Ms. Klein points at the pictures, like she's presenting a murder timeline. Mr. Reynolds was not lazy, she says. He was the chief operating officer of the marriage. And when he was removed, the household degraded immediately. Then the money part starts. Their forensic accountant is some dude with a calm voice and dead eyes. He reads my life back to me in numbers. First-class flights, 5-star hotels, fine dining at Michelin-rated establishments, private car services, designer purchases. It's like listening to my own consumption habits in a courtroom. Voice, this is the established marital standard, he concludes. My lawyer tries to pivot to the whole modern angle, goes for the girl boss argument, like it's a lifeline. Your Honor, should a modern woman be penalized for her success? Should she be forced to support an able-bodied man? I want to clap. I want it to work so bad. Judge Whitaker just looks over his glasses at me, silent for a long beat. Then he clears his throat. The court has heard ample testimony. Texas law is gender neutral. The term provider is assigned by capacity, not by sex. My stomach drops because his tone is already no. He keeps going. The petitioner made a strategic decision to have the respondent manage the household. You cannot benefit from 8 years of domestic labor, then argue that labor has no value when the bill comes due. He mentions the length of marriage, 7 years, 10 months. Then he says the thing I was bracing for support guidelines about half the length. I do the math instantly, just under 4 years. Okay, that sucks, but it's survivable. Then he flips a page and my hope dies right there on the bench. Given the disparity in earning capacity, he says, and the respondent's total removal from the workforce at the petitioner's encouragement, he glances down again. The court finds a long-term dependency precedent applies. I blink. What spousal support is ordered in the amount of $10,800 per month, he says, until the death of either party, the remarriage of the respondent, or further order of the court. Indefinite lifetime money. I make a sound I didn't know I could make, half gasp, half choke. Judge Whitaker isn't done. The court accepts the business valuation. Petitioner owes respondent an equalization payment of $1.95 million. Payable over 5 years, with statutory interest at 9% per annum. Petitioner will also pay respondent's attorney's fees in the amount of $96,000. Gavel hits. It's over. I'm sitting there like someone unplugged. My brain walking out of the courthouse feels unreal. Sunlight is too bright. Cars too loud. My net worth just got chopped in half on paper, and my monthly cash flow now has a hole in it that won't close. I spot Kyle outside. He's hugging his mom. He looks relieved, not smug, just lighter. Like someone let him put down a heavy box. I walk over because I can't help myself. My mouth moves before my pride can stop it. Are you happy? You ruined me. He looks at me with that same soft expression he used to wear when I came home angry. I didn't ruin you, he says. The law just leveled the field. I spit it out. You're a parasite. He doesn't even flinch. No, he says, I was your partner. You just forgot what that word meant. He turns like he's done with me, and I panic because the last word can't be his. What are you even going to do with all my money? I snap. Voice shaking, he pauses. I'm moving to Galveston, he says, gonna learn to surf. Maybe volunteer. Finally beat the backlog of games I never finished. My jaw tightens. You're pathetic. He gives this tiny smile. Maybe. But I'm basically retired at 38. Thanks to you. 1 year later, the consequences are my entire life. I have to sell the condo. Couldn't swing the mortgage plus $10.8 thousand every month, plus the quarterly buyout payments. I end up in a luxury studio in North Austin, which is just a small box with loud neighbors and a gate that's always broken. Brightwell is struggling. I can't hire the best people because I'm draining capital to pay Kyle. Every hire feels like a threat to my next payment. I don't drive the Range Rover anymore. I'm in a leased Prius. Now the universe has jokes every month on the 1st. I have a recurring transfer set up, minus $10,800. Memo line says, Reynolds support, like it's a subscription. I can't cancel. I doom scroll his Instagram like a masochist. He's in Costa Rica now. Tan, fit, glowing, holding a surfboard like he was born with it. And next to him is a girl. She has yoga teacher energy, no makeup, big natural smile, caption. Says Pura Vida, grateful for the abundance. Abundance, my abundance. I'm in my studio eating cold pad thai, straight out of the plastic 10 minutes until a Zoom call with a client who wants to cut budget laundry pile in the corner like a slow-growing landfill. I haven't folded clothes in months. My stupid boss babe mug is on the desk with dried coffee crust inside it. I open Twitter to dissociate. Some influencer is posting, Queens never settle for a man who brings less to the table. I start typing a reply, thumbs flying. It's a trap. Being the provider is a trap. I stop. Delete. It can't wreck the brand. Narrative can't show the cracks turn on the ring light. Fix my hair paste on the smile log into Zoom. Hi everyone, I chirp, so excited to leverage synergy today. My face when I broke the glass ceiling just to fund my ex-husband's surf lessons. My face when equal treatment feels exactly like getting mugged. My face when I'm the one signing the check and suddenly the whole concept hits different.